My, you guys. Come get around. We're going to get some manao for Papakilo Hoko over here. And we're going to live stream them. So Uncle Hank's Kuliana was to take care of disseminating education to everybody. And we're here because of the Queen and what has happened here. And we have a very awesome line of speakers. Juana Salazar, Papakilo Hoko here, Michael Lee, who share his manao with us. So, gang, whoever's out there want to come lend your ears, welcome to come in and sit down, bring your chairs. So just let us know when you can start. Mahalo. Aloha, you guys.
Aloha, Iolani, everybody, aloha. My name is Iolani. I'm from Monokalani Po, and I'm going to be filling the very large shoes of Anakala this afternoon. Hopefully, I can do everything he wanted to have done with the help of all of our kia'i here. First, we're going to hear from Mike Lee, and he's going to be speaking on allodial titles. And then we're going to hear from Princess Oana Salazar. Following these two speakers, we will be going to the statue of the Queen and giving our ho'okupu. And then when we come back later on, we will proceed with Uncle Hanale's presentation of the documents that Nomoko Okiawe published and Manokalani Po published short after. So if everyone could gather around, we're going to be live streaming this. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Michael Lee, speaking on allodial titles.
Mahalo, everybody. Thank you for coming. And we send our prayers out to Uncle Hank Fergestrom, who is always been a warrior and held his post here. And it seems it's time for us to pick up that mantle. Now, we have three po'os. My talk is on allodial titles, ana allodial. But before I get started, we have to go to the source, Kia Kua I'o. The po'o, the aka chord from our po'o. We ask, Komamai Kia Kua, I hele mai o kapo'i. We ask you, Kia Kua, to come and open up that portal so that you come and you use Akua Noho for my body to speak for you, so that it may be done in your way for your greater glory. Kia Kua literally, mahalo. Kia Kua literally gave instructions in my prayers on what to say as the opening prayer. It talks about the mahele and the importance of the mahele. He said about the mahele, this instrument is to fulfill Hale o Kaulike, the house of balance. Our Aloha Pai Aina does not have a house of balance. The instrument of the house of balance is to fortify the foundation of the restitution of the lands in the mahele, the land claims, the foundation through Hawaiian genealogy, through Haloa. Remain our land claims and the tenant rights. Kia Kua said, do what is right, collect your inheritance. The thieves have stolen. Answer the way to refute, the purpose to plow a path to Haloa, all of our ancestors. Prepare for action in a holy manner. The word is not ana spit poison, not out of anger. Why? Kia Kua is the true mo'i of Hawaii. There is no other that created these islands for his divine purpose. If anyone has not told you what Kia Kua's divine purpose for putting his hand down to the mantle and pulling up Hawaii, creating us to come to do his work to bring him glory to the world as he puts his feet on the footstool, which is earth, Keakua told me the divine purpose of his creation of these islands was to heal the ocean, to heal the land, to heal the air, to heal the fresh water, which he created for his purpose, that does him glory. Notice the story is about Keakua, not us. The story that we are connected to Keakua is his great love that he shares with us. Not ana, not spit poison, not kue. It is a message of holiness and love through respect, through Keakua's plan. The reason why the pattern and model of success since 1993, when we had 224 sovereignty groups, have not worked, none of them asked Keakua what was his plan. He created these islands. He's the one who he is the one who put the Hawaiians to sleep. He is the one who is waking them up through Mauna Kea. So Keakua said his purpose must be carried out in a holy manner, in a divine manner for his purpose. It said prepare for action in a holy manner, exact places and fixed boundaries, search through the scales of long origins focused on stability, reliability, power, and the desire of the foundation to protect what one values, Hawaiian value sets. The power and authority is found in the covenant of the Mahele, in which it is written the purpose and the ends of sovereign government, the affairs for freedom in reliability, in integrity and righteousness in Keakua. Our motto of the kingdom, Uamau, no man is righteous. The land came from his hand. We came from his hand. His divine purpose has to be front and center. In 2009, he told me Mauna Kea would bring Hawaiians together for his kingdom on his time, not man's time. And I said, Mauna Kea, how is that going to work? He said, the Hiapo will focus the Kanakas to come back to me. Liliuokalani said, do not take up arms against the United States. Why? Because Keakua has had the time, all the time, when he was going to open the portal for the kingdom to come back. And he gave a warning to me. He said, when one finds misfortune, all find misfortune, which means he told me when the kingdom comes, and you will see the Ali'i Nui sworn in on those steps, he said if people listen to him and do it in the holy manner, it can come as soon as 2020. That's soon. And I said, Keakua, that's soon. And he said, yes, that's soon, if people do it on my time and listen to me, because it has to be done in a holy manner, as Queen Liliuokalani knew. So he said, be wary. When the kingdom comes, there will be temptation to switch the seats from the oppressor, who has a different color skin, to the oppressor who has Kanaka Ma'ole skin. Which what he said is, they just change hats, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. He said this is a spiritual kingdom from the beginning. It is a spiritual kingdom, not a secular, not religious. It's your ponona'au that tells you when a rat is in front of you and they are preaching ratdom. Everybody can get it. They feel it in their ponona'au. Why? In the mainland, they call spirituality their culture. We say our ancestors, and Keakua is above, and our ancestors are whispering in our mokuna'au, ponona'au, telling us what we have to do. And when we follow those directions, the Anui Nui Kahili stands erect and says, Pono ea, you are doing the right thing for the right reason. The mainland is in opposition to Keakua because it doesn't do the right thing all the time. And that is the allodial titles. What they want you to do is not see the truth. And the truth is, Kamehameha III never wanted his people to be dispossessed from the land. So what he did was he set up the Mahele and he put Ana Alodio. And most of the Kanakas do not know what Ana Alodio is. Even our own Kanakas who are PhDs, who are supposed to be experts, you ask them what is Ana Alodio and they'll say, fee simple. Wrong. Wrong. And then you'll say, why do you say fee simple? Which it's extinguished once you sell it. And they will say Blackstone. That's the American dictionary for law. And guess what? Kamehameha III did not use Blackstone. He used Bouvier, 3rd edition. And the right of your interest in Bouvier passes on for more than 10,000 years. But nobody taught the Kanaka how to reclaim their right in a quiet claim, quick claim process. And in the fake states, Bureau of Conveyances and Land Court, there is no statute of limitations on fraud, and this whole thing is a fraud. They talk about the property in the Mahele that were given out only gave the title but not the land. It was in the government, which is wrong. That is their line in the Newlands resolution that said the act of Congress says we get to dictate to the kingdom what law is. Under their own constitution, chapter 6, section 2, the supremacy clause, they broke their own constitution. To weave the lie, the giant spider in the mainland weaves his lie, puts out his books with his story, his narrative, and they're all lies. And the great lie is that they own this place. They do not. There is no instrument in law, be it the Treaty of Annexation, or that fake Newlands resolution, or the Pilau Organic Act. They have no right in their own constitution to do this. So they violate their own. Why? Their allodial lands are cockroach allodial lands. What do I mean? Squatters' rights rule. Why? They're the squatter. The indigenous natives that are there, they wanted to steal the land, so they make the laws so they can. It's called squatters' right. I stay down, you don't push me out, I get your land. But the Mahele does not say that. There is a legal instrument called a jurat. And that legal instrument puts them on notice that you are not playing in your cockroach background, your playground. You are playing in Mahele Kingdom law. And in the Mahele Kingdom law, you have to go by how we set this up, not how you and your cockroach law set it up for cockroaching. Ole, that is not valid. So most people don't know this. So in that jurat, you put the kingdom laws, how you got your rights from the articles in the Act of 1848, the 1853 Mahele Kuleana rights, and you tell them, don't put your ship into Honolulu Harbor. We didn't ask you to come, so don't dock it in our place. Okay, keep your ship out of Kingdom Harbor. In the truth will set us free. You can bring back the government tomorrow, next week. And how do you do that? You file your jurats in the Bureau of Conveyances. Go to Kumu Maikli, allodial titles. I go over how you do it, and I have the papers on how you do it. You're giving them due notice in due time with due care. Goodbye. Because you look at what happened with the Arab Spring. What happens? The fake state, in its fake inception of the Admissions Act. You know what the Admissions Act is? It's an executive order by Eisenhower. And it says on Article 1, Section 1 of the fake state, we can have this land because they don't tell you why, and you can't find the documents of Article 1, Section 1. the great lie from the great spider. And they weave their lies saying, we got it from dot, 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 dot. They never tell you the dot, 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 because it don't exist. It's fairyland. It doesn't exist. And so what do? In that executive order, they created a giant trust. And they spoke legalese to the Kanakas. And the Kanakas didn't know what they were talking about. And I'll tell you, and I'll take the veil away from the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. The Wizard of Oz says, we have the right in Article 1, Section 1 of the state constitution to make laws for Hawaii from the people. What people? This is not a social club. What people are we talking about? Wyoming, Wisconsin, Texas? Where's their pala that says they own the land? That's a fantasy. What they left out because they did not want Kanakas to know the truth is allodial land claims with Kanakas of the blood. You could not have allodial, even if you were a kingdom citizen. If you were haole, you could never have allodial unless you married a haole and through her got your baby. Then you could have allodial. And I've only seen 6 allodial deeds. That means we transfer for the next 10,000 years our rights to you. People don't know this because knowledge is power. Go to the archives. They'll send you over to the state library, and they'll send you back and forth like a ping pong ball. When I first came to the archives, all the books 20 years ago were out. All the books are gone. All the Mahele books are gone, and they say mold. Well, it didn't bother them for 120 years before, because when people started waking up and finding the truth, they didn't want it to be easy for you. So they hid it from you, because by 2020, the kingdom can come back when you say, mine's not yours. It's always been ours and our family. So what did Keakua tell me? Through your kuleana. What is your kuleana? Your responsibility through your moku auhau, your genealogy. He said your power is in your genealogy. The house of balance is in your genealogy. Why? Because your genealogy tells you what your family's been sticking around for 80,000 years trying to produce in this generation. That is the light that Keakua put into every soul he had into this world. That's why he said, don't put your light under a bushel basket. He was talking about doing your ancestral work in this generation and preparing the next generation to continue that same work under Keakua I'o's ha. And the power of life is in the vaiha, the water that retains in your breath. And that's why your iwi kupuna uhane show up in dreams, tell you in court cases what you're supposed to do, Miss Ruthie Bolome, cousin of mine. And when you walk in that light, nothing can stop you. Nobody can come against you. Why? He's standing not behind you, but in front of you. Your moku auhau, your uhane are holding your hands, laughing at them while they're whispering in your ear, we won, we won. That is the absolute honest truth. So, the allodial lands are the kaviliki that open the door of the reality of the truth, laid down, set down by Keakua, his way, his timing, for his purpose, to give glory to him, because this story is about him and how he shared his ha, and he shared his glory with us. That's what this is all about, and that's why the sovereignty groups have failed. They never bothered asking the Lord of all, the one, and by the way, let's correct this for the record. Keakua I'o is Jesus Christ. Oh, surprise. The Po'i haole that came from the missionaries over there to cockroach this land brought the truth, but they brought their hunger for the grave of lust and greed as well, as they saw this land and wanted to take it over but could not, because at that time Kanakas were strong in their native Hawaiian cultural practitioners. They saw the people on Molokai move stones with a prayer. How were they going to overcome that when the book that they had didn't mention that? But in that same book, which is a true book of truth, it says many things have happened that are not written in this book. So they couldn't overthrow the Kanaka so long as the Kanaka had that power. And so what they did was shut it down, work to the Kepalo, stay away from that. As long as you put Keakua Io, the uncreated God who created everybody, on the top, give him the glory, give him the praise. Tutupele's my 17th great-grandmother with Kamapua'a. And all the family of Kane, Kanaloa, and the shark gods and stuff, all are family. And that is subordinate to the creator of all. We do not take away from him. We just show how great his universe is, how 26 million colors and 250 versions of gray exist, not black and white. The world is bigger than you know and more than you think. It comes back to Keakua's people, who he seeded the knowledge and generational knowledge, how to repair the land, how to repair and use water 1,000 ways before it gets to the ocean, how to make local ias. He told me Hawaii is supposed to feed the world, both in the land and on the sea, with a model and pattern of success that he taught in generational knowledge. Papa Bray, master hula chanter on the Big Island, lineage of Kamehameha I. On his temple on the Big Island, natural formation of the 8 Hawaiian islands. When he was meditating, he saw a vision from Keakua. And that vision said, one day the whole world will look to Hawaii to answer its problems. Seated in Keakua's mission statement for the divine purpose of his people, 966 generations sitting in front of me, from Ki'ila'i to the present, all connected through Haloa, the living tree of our genealogy that gives us the power within the mahele of the lands, more than just tenant rights, but the rights of the soul and the mind, how to do things that are beyond explanation and logic. This is the treasure that Kanakas hold and do not have. The great mistake of the mahele was it didn't have a teaching component to teach the next generation what your portfolios of land were, what your rights are, how after Tutu dies you must take them back in a quick claim, quiet claim title, because you are never to be put off your land. And that is why the mahele was created. People did not know. People did not share. The treasure was hidden. Now it's coming back to say, through Keakua, you have the power to turn this over in a season if you wish. But it's your problem is here, your answer is here. By listening and doing. Go and do as my teacher, Auntie Alice Holoka'i said, Hele makama hele o Keakua. Go his way in humility, righteousness, and the truth. It's a narrow path, because you can't lie. Otherwise, you exchange a secular pu'i, heva way of system for another secular. Why do the kids at Mauna Kea come up to Mauna Kea? Because they're pono na'au, and they're training in our charter schools to the truth of documents, permanent documents that were primary source, not BS documents written by the fake state to take away your rights, or Kamehameha school from the missionaries that don't teach you how to be Hawaiian and empower you, but how to keep the system in place and relegate it to nothing except you can go to that school. You own all the land. You own the rights of the water and the rights of piscary. This cannot be taken away from you. You just have to reclaim it. And you have to stand up for it And in the thousands, Hiakua told me one more thing that's going to happen this year. It's on my videos that I said the Black Swan was coming the first week of January, which it did come with China. This was Hiakua's warning. 250,000 Kanakas are on the mainland. 250,000 Kanakas, according to the 2010 census, are here. We are a divided people by water and opportunity. That the opportunity was the god of money that said, I have to have a better life so that I can afford in my income a better life. Auntie Alice always told me, income, she said, if people ask you, how do you know what has been given to you? She said, incoming. And I said, what does that mean? She says, it's coming in from Heavenly Father, okay? That's the incoming, okay? Incoming, all right? So God has to bring, like the Jews, back as one people. It's called a diaspora. And he said he was going to strike the mainland. He's not an absentee landlord. And how is he going to strike? He's going to strike the world. And October 21st, October 25th, a massive collapse is going to take place. You're starting to see it. It's going to through China and the Asian markets and their lack of capitalizing their debt. That's going to force our Kanakas to leave the mainland and put in Donald Trump to build his wall. Because as he says, as Donald Trump says, I'll make you prosperous at the cost of your soul. Because it's all about the grave of lust and greed. That's going to push them out. As Adolf Hitler pushed out the Jews. They've got to come back home. So he told me 3 years ago, do those tapes about allodial titles so they have a reason to come back. Because this is their land. They have to land. Like Nene Gru says. They have to land to something, not nothing. Not empty promises of man's egos saying, I'm ali'i, I'm this, I'm that, I'm everything. Let's kill it for once and once all. Keakua is the true ali'i of this land. There is no other. From him all good things come and always have. His plan is moving ahead. It can move faster if people understand what I'm talking about. And a lot of people don't, so that's okay. So we're going on Molokai next week to go 3 hours showing them how to get their lands back. It's moving forward, but it's moving by your kuleana. See, it's not top. This is unlike any of these sovereignty groups. It's not top down, it's bottom up. It is the people moving, taking their kuleana and their kuleana lands back to do the right thing and to get together when our brothers and sisters come home, because you will see God striking the mainland and China and the rest of the world. Why? To bring his people, his Hawaiian people, back to do his plan, not a sovereignty group's plan, but Kekua's plan. You will witness this on the steps of the Iolani Palace, swearing in Li'inui to bring it back, because the people will start up the elections and they will speak in one voice. I said, Kekua, how can? Because almost 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minute warning. Okay. I gotta get off. You know, I can go forever. So, so Kekua said, no. The plight of the Hawaiian people, he put it in a parable like the Bible. He said the Hawaiian people are like a Kanaka man who shouted out, I am going to farm. I'm going to be a mahi'ai, and does nothing. Why? Because constant fighting with the family, he can't get out of the front door. So Keakua does have a plan, believe it or not, that will eject us all into the right spot, and everybody like Mauna Kea will be on the same sheet of music. Go to Kumu Michael Kumu Kauohali on YouTube. All of this stuff is there. The documents we have at Leeward Community College. There's a service that is being provided to help people find their allodial lands online. So we mahalo, and right now Princess Oana Salazar is coming up. So we pay respect. You see, everybody, let me tell you, last thing, and I promise I'll get off the stage. I didn't know my family genealogy till Keakua pushed me and said, go do your genealogy. I was so afraid I came from Kawa slave. I was so afraid, oh my God, I'm gonna find out I came from slave. So everybody's gonna push me around. So I hesitated to do it, and then I went in, and I'm moving over to give her the microphone. And 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 when I did the genealogy, 6 months, I couldn't find a damn thing. And I said, we know it existed. And then Keaku said, what did Auntie Alice Holokai said? Go to the King James Bible, open it up and pray. The power of prayer. So I did that, and he showed me, and I said, no cat. So I used, I used all the names, and I went and I found out, oh my God, it's true. So the power of prayer, and even we knew that in the Heva land conveyance office with the books, we know they're hiding all the good stuff. It isn't in the documents of the books. They in the index books, which there are hundreds of them, the stuff you really need isn't there, and they didn't put it down with your name on it. It's in the books on the side. So I took a friend of mine, and me and I prayed. We prayed in front of the books asking Keiko, and then we had the feeling which one to go and what page. Oh my God, what we found. And it wasn't in the books. That's what I'm saying. The power of prayer with Keakua, logic cannot explain. We found the most critical stuff through the power of prayer that you could ever believe. That no record was left of it because they were trying to hide it. Keakua has the key. The key is prayer. Realize the stories about him and his invitation to have us in his ohana because he created us. He's mama and papa at the same time. So I've got to get off, and please welcome Princess Oana Salazar.
Hello, everybody. I think some of us have forgotten why we're here, but we're here to listen to some of these speakers that Uncle Hank thinks is really important to listen to. Also, I have an update about Uncle Hank Anakala. He's conscious again, and he's doing good in Iolani. So we want to give out some love to Uncle Hank because he's safe again. But if you guys could please come in, as Uncle Hank would say, it's like aloha mai.
Mahalo, aloha everyone. Can you hear me okay? Aloha. Yeah, turn it up a little bit. Thank you. Wow, that was amazing. How about just a huge appreciation for Michael Lee, a wonderful cousin. I'm so happy to call you family. I am so happy for that. You have served so well. You just give us so much. I want to go Molokai and listen to you too. You can't watch the YouTubes enough. Whew. Well, I want to say mahalo keakua for this day, because in this day we have yet another opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to be together, to really be the unity that we express we want to have. All we have to do is be it, yeah? We don't have to think a lot about it, and I also want to say mahalo to our brother Hank Ferguson for, holding down the fort. 16 years now he's had the permit. Talked with him the other day, and I watched his little clip on YouTube where he expressed that he wanted us to be here today just to be with our queen. And so that fueled my mana'o for my talk today, and I want to thank you so much. Really close, Bob. Thanks. Okay. I have a little theme, a theme that I gave to what I'm going to say. It's ho'omana'oana, remembering. Yeah, remembering. My poina, no forget. He ho'omana oana, my poina. He moani te ala. He ho'omana oana, my poina. Ianulali, the 17th, 1893. Ho'ohalialia, to fondly remember our mo'i wahine. And this is the wish in all of our hearts, I know, but especially given out and expressed by our brother Hank. So mahalo, Hank. We're so happy that you're doing well. So remember her and all that she lived through and all she did to protest to be reinstated as her rightful place as our queen. I also, what took place in 1895, oh thank you, when the Hawaiian loyalists, the Honorable James Kuakini Cummins and the Honorable Robert Kalani Hiapo Wilcox, who happened to be my great-grandfather, together with other loyal subjects, yeah, stood against the bayonet constitution in 1889. And again they rose up at the behest of the Queen herself in 1895 to return her to the throne and to reinstate the constitutional monarchy. Could we say that together? Hey, ho'omana oana kako. What? Hey, ho'omana oana kako. Ho'o makes it a verb. Mana'o, we're thinking. He ho'o mana'o ana. Ana kako. All of us.
All of us. Just think of
Yes.
it.
Let us all remember. And then the other way we have of saying all remember is mai poina. Don't forget. No? Never forget. So, I want to remember one more mo'i, or be a few. Keopuni mo'i ku iki kumu kanawai. Remembering that our true government is a constitutional monarchy. That is the truth. I'm only going to speak the truth today as I know it. And I truly believe that every mana'o, every ikalamai ia'u for calling it a group or a hui or an organization, I gotta speak English. I really believe that everything we wish for, we can gain through the truth of the constitutional monarchy. So I ask, why are we even allowing, mahalo Michael, we don't need OHA to define anything for us. We don't need the state of Hawaii to define. We know who we are. Do we really know who we are? And do we believe? The believe. We must believe it. We must know. So I'm concerned about this lie that we need to create a form of government that divides us further. Michael cited very well. We're divided by an ocean. We're divided by politics. But we can be one if we get past all that and know that we don't need to create all of that. Mahalo. Now, oh yeah. The defining labels, yeah? Native Hawaiian, capital N, small n, gee whiz. And lowercase n, and land ownership qualifications to vote, all the things that have been perpetrated on us. And here we have someone like Michael to teach us. All we need to know to puka through is right in our own genealogies. I'm going to get that jurat going, man, I tell you. Oh yeah, and then here's the dastardly division. It's called blood quantum. You know, the very thing that that department uses to put people on the land is the very thing they use to take people off the land. I know a woman here today. I don't see her, but she's here. When she was young, raised by her tutus on Hawaiian homes. And then when the tutus passed away, because she wasn't half, they made her move. That is very wrong. So blood quantum, that division has to go. He ho'omana o wanakako mai puina, remembering that in 1844, our king, Kamehameha III, he generously gave over lands to the Kuleana. And you know what's beautiful about that? And I gotta thank Iolani, I think her name is, she posted on Facebook the original pages of the handwritten document of his statement in the Mahele. And when you read it, word for word, whether it's crown lands, whether it's government lands, or whether it's Kuleana lands, they're all subject to the rights of tenants. Isn't that wonderful? He did set it up so that no one would be homeless. We just have to stop allowing it. We're blessed with one another. I believe that collectively we have wisdom and we can achieve everything we need. We can do this, and I love the deadline. Thanks, that's 2020. Michael, 2020, yeah? All right. 2020, we're going to see clearly. But before I close, I want to just go in a couple things because I'm finding it really difficult to believe that, okay, first of all, another lie.
Or here.
This lie came out in the newspaper the other week, a week or so ago, about the Bishop Museum CEO, Mr. Blair Collis, has decided that they're going to sell Princess Kauai's, some of her royal domain, to support the building. Like they never heard of Kalua pig sales. I mean, come on. So the lie that has been perpetuated for 100 or so years now is that Princess Kauai was the last of the Kamehamehas. How many of us know that's not true? Good. Tell everybody. Let's talk about this every day. Tell all your friends, tell your neighbors. We need to talk about it. We need to affirm it every day that that is a lie. In fact, I'm in touch with the writer of that article. I want a retraction. I want a full article to acknowledge that all the Kamehamehas are not dead. When I was researching on some of the probates of the royalty, and those with large lands, because probates would tell us a story, I learned that Princess Kauai's probate, if you stack up the paper, it's going to stack 3 feet high. I thought, oh my God, it would cost over $1,000 to get those copies. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. It occurred to me, it's a trust. It was a trust. Why should there be a probate over trusts? Right? Because nowadays we know if you have your aina and your possessions in a trust, it avoids probate. So why is her probate this high? Well, I suspect that if we look into all of those probate papers, we may just find that those trustees, those naughty boys, were aihuaing other ali'i lands, namely Victoria Kamamalu's. Now, Victoria Kamamalu's lands are vast, and a very large LCA sits right under the nerve center of the rail. Some of you may have seen this in the newspaper. There was whether they came on and said the county doesn't own it, the state doesn't own it, but it belongs to the DHHL. Oh no. Well, not so, because it's an LCA of Victoria Kamamalu's. In 1900, the Navy took it, and sometime around the 70s, They were done with it, and they kicked it back over. They kicked it, no, not back. They kicked it to the state. And then sometime in the 80s, there was a inventory done on all the Hawaiian homelands, and they were missing some hundreds of acres, some thousands of acres. Yeah, and they had a repatriation act to put land back into the DHHL or over to the. And apparently, this was some of those lands. It's 56 acres. And when you see them putting the nerve center of the rail, that's it. You can stand right on the side of one of the balconies of Leeward Community College and look over towards Eva, and you're going to see it right there. So I suspect that that's what they were doing in that probate. And what upsets me, in addition to that, is that they completely ignored my great-great-grand aunt, the High Chiefess Princess Keka'aniao, Elizabeth Keka'aniao, who was also recognized as eligible to rule. I'm not here to be all tantaran. I struggle just like you guys. I wonder how I'm gonna, make it. But to kiakua and good faith, and family, we manage. So, I find it, and I'll go back to this. I find it extraordinarily difficult to believe that Princess Pauahi would be satisfied, let alone happy, with her, with a part of her royal domain under the auspices of trustees who only look at their corporate gain and monetary bottom lines, leasing lands to corporations for GMO farming, sending lands out for the rail, what they call the TOD, the transit-oriented development. You're doing your homework. I know. She's saying everything. She got it. And so what does that mean, transit-oriented development? So the rail is not just going to be a transit thing. They're going to develop around it. And there goes Ho'opili. There goes Eva. There goes those farmlands that now we know, thanks to all cousins' work over here, is the finest farmland. Where is Oahu going to eat? And then what? There goes the reef, there goes the limu, there goes the fish. So I can't believe that she would be happy with that. I'm not buying it. They say, oh, our princess will be so happy we are doing her will. No, you're not. So I just want to invite all of you. We all have access to internet, yeah? Go ahead and look up who are the trustees of Kamehameha schools. Used to be the Bishop Estate, yeah. Then was KSBE. Now they want Bishop kind of like this quiet, this man, because let's pretend he wasn't there. He was. These Howleys, they came and married the Ali'i women for their lands. Come on. Really. They didn't like brownies. They put up with it. And it's true, I know. I'm not going into all my family stories.